Good morning, everyone. Today I would like to talk about our project minus the Tutor Chatbot. We're going to be going over a little more in depth of how we made this. So we submitted this to the UNT NSB Hack 2023. So for this prompt, it was create a chatbot. Uh, we won second place overall in best software design, and we also competed in what we called the side quests, so best use of Google Cloud, which we won, and then we also competed for best use of AI in education. So first, here's the code I updated and kind of like a lot more documentation to the GitHub. But as far as the code itself, it's less than it's only 95 lines of code. It's really not that much. It took us less than 24 hours to make. But there were some hiccups, which I'll go over now. So to actually get the AI, um, so what you first would want to do is navigate to the console, the cloud, Google Cloud Console, and then create a new project. Chatbot 6. I've created a bunch of these. Uh, so Chatbot 6, once it's created, we're going to select it. Boom, we're now viewing Chatbot 6. So now what we want to do is go over to the APIs and services. You go to library, you look up Vertex AI. We want to enable this. Sweet is enabled. And we also want to make sure we come down. Okay, go to credentials. Let's create a services account. Put in your name or any name really. Great. Select role. I just do owner. And then done. There we go. Now we got our services account. We click on that. Then from here we go to keys and we want to add a new JSON key. It'll download a JSON file for you to put into your code or into your folder. Okay, so it's active. Click on that. There you go. So right here, copy and paste this to your cred.json file that's in your folder along with your Python script. So now what you want for our project, at least, you want to start with 3 files. So we got our little robot image and then our credentials, and then we have our main program file, Python file. So let's go ahead. I'm going to copy and paste all this, and I'm going to talk about it. So actually, first we want to start an environment. So give this a second. Okay, now we want to activate it. There we go. Now we're in a virtual environment. So let's look at dependencies first. So first we have OS. Sometimes you don't, or most of the time you don't need to download the OS. It's usually included in the Python. Uh, so if I pip install OS, see, it's gonna say could not find, but it is included. We don't get any errors, but we do want to install Kinter or TK. installed. Now we do want to install custom Kinter, which this is kind of like our bulk of the AI. Um, our group member Oz actually found it, and it looks really good, I will say. Definitely recommend. Then we want to download the AI right here. Pip install Google Cloud AI platform. This is the one that usually takes a little minute. There we go. Uh, and lastly, we want to install Pillow right here. Pillow. All right, there you go. We have all our dependencies installed. Now let me go over the code. So now, first line, or yeah, first line, we have this is just to gather our credentials file and actually give it to Google, make sure they know that who we are. And then we're gonna specify what model we're using. So we're using a pre-trained model called text.bison. Then we're setting the appearance of the application. Just, I mean, this doesn't really matter. Just system blue. You'll see later how it looks. But so in our main app function, so we have a title, we have the size of our app, we have some grids, and this is the sidebar. This is kind of important. So basically, we can select the subject and grade level right here. Then when the user clicks this get response button, uh, it'll actually call the function. Uh, where's the function? Call get response. Oh, right here. I'll call that function, which will be shown later. And we have a little entry box for the user to enter the question. We have a text box for the answer to be populated in. And then we have our little robot that's on the right of the screen. So then our get response. So we gather our user input from earlier. When it'll clear also the question box. And then here's kind of where our code is a little unique. So pretty much um, the user can use a drop down, select the grade level and subject, and it'll kind of like forcefully change the prompt. So say your question is 2 plus 2, and I chose elementary school math. So it'll be instead of just the prompt being what's 2 plus 2, it'd be explain how to solve 2 plus 2, or no, explain how to solve this math question on an elementary school level, and it'll be 2 plus 2. So just like append the uh, the user input. That way, it just makes it a little bit user friendly for maybe that like younger age group. So like a 5-year-old kid trying to figure out like what 2 plus 2 is, like they can just like easily go down the drop menu, choose elementary school math, and it could also help with maybe some parents that don't really know how to use AI. Just makes it a little bit user friendly. So this gathers a prompt, and then we have some parameters, um, and this is where the AI answers it in the text box. And then we have our main loop for our app. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It was a pretty simple program. Uh, let's see. Since we have all of this, it should be able to run. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we have our app. So as you can see, we have a drop down menu on the left sidebar, get response button, our little robot on the right hand side, and then we try to design this as like a chalkboard so it's green. And then you can enter your question right here. So see, let's do history, elementary school. Let's do who is George Washington. Get response. So on an elementary school level, it's gonna try to break it down in like the most simplistic way because it's trying to explain it to an elementary school kid. So as you can see, we have a few sentences of who he was. Now, if we go to high school and ask the same question, as you can see, it gives us a little bit more in-depth response because it thinks it's talking to a high school kid. It's going to give a little bit more information and it'll be more relevant to the high schooler rather than throwing a bunch of information to an elementary school kid. Uh, it's pretty much the gist of our project. So now what we want to do is let's make this into a single executable file. So to do that, we're going to use PyInstaller, which you'll have to download right here. Pip install PyInstaller. So we do that. Then we want to, this will create our executable. So now we have our this folder with our chatbot executable. What we want to do is let's move over. Oh, no. Move this folder and same thing with credentials. Move. All right, now our program should work on executable. So move over to File Explorer and go to the destination. So we have our three files. Let's run our application. Boom, there we go. Make sure it still works. There we go, perfect. So that's pretty much our project and the code for our project. Um, Time for me to go to work now. So I'll see y'all later.